All right, we have begun recording. We have begun the broadcast. We're letting all of the attendees funnel in. We have a growing list. Fantastic. Wow, okay, the list was really built up. All right, we'll let everybody take a couple minutes perhaps to keep funneling in. Great. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time out of your night, out of your day, out of your morning to listen to us. We have a very exciting topic, exciting in terms of importance and relevance to everybody's lives these days. So, we're very happy to be able to communicate some of this important information with everybody. Okay, Julie.
Yeah, OK， 好的。那么大家下午好，现在是我们的1周1次的讲座时间。那么呢，我们是 BEEC 行实教育。那么我是 Julie， 然后刚才那位是 Jonathan， 然后还有剩下一位是 Jessie。那么今天呢，由我们3位为您带来这一期的讲座话题。那么就是大家也知道，现在新冠肺炎是一个我们非常关心的话题。那么呢，这个病毒呢也非常深刻的影响了大学的录取政策，今年的2020年，那么以及未来2021年的大学录取政策。那么就让我们来看一下它会给我们带来怎样的影响。Next。那么呢，先简单介绍一下我们 BEC 行实国际呢，就是我们是一家私人定制的美国教育咨询公司。那么呢，我们的目标是以孩子的全面发展作为我们的目标。那么我们最早呢，可以从中学开始就为学生提供各种各样的未来以及职业规划、个人成长需要的各种能力、各种各样的培养。那么呢，我们还会给孩子配备私人导师团队，那么有学业活动还有考试这些方面都会被包括在里面。以及未来的职业规划、心理压力管理、领导能力、交流能力，我们都会包括在我们的服务里面。那么呢，我们可以还有一些非常独特的课外活动和学术资源。那么相信这一些资源也可以非常好的帮助到您的孩子所需求的各种教育需求。Next one.
All right.
Hi. Okay, so there are many ways to approach sort of how COVID-19 has affected admissions, and there are many questions, but really they all fall under 3 main categories. The first is testing, and this can be broken down into which schools have maintained their testing requirements and which have gone test optional, and which tests they still require, and which ones are optional and which ones are not accepted at all. The second main area is grades. How will sort of changes to the way your school or district grades your work affect admissions, if at all? And the last one is the application itself. There will be room on applications, as there is normally, to sort of explain your circumstances and difficulties you may have faced specifically with regard to COVID-19, but also transcript submission. The schools have made it very clear that they'll be very flexible with accepting transcripts, many up till the day of your first classes. So that's another issue that you shouldn't worry about, but it is something to think about.
OK， 那么呢，刚才 Jessie 所讲的简单概括一下，就是它 COVID-19 会从3个方面影响今年以及未来1年的大学的申请和录取。那么第一点就是标准化考试的要求可能会有非常大的变化，比如说从硬性要求考试成绩到自愿提交这么一个变化。那么第二点呢，就是 因为这整一个学期，那么学生们的本来规划好的时间以及学校的安排都被打乱了之后，那么这个学期的成绩，可能会被非常大的影响到。那么呢，所以学校的成绩要求也会因此做一些改变，比如说从数字大家所熟知的 GPA， 比如说1234改成字母，那么呢 letter grade 的要求就可能就相当于说大家没有办法用一个非常客观的成绩去表示他现在这种情况的成绩，所以大家只会把这个标准给改变。那么呢，还有第3点呢，就是申请本身可能会被影响。申请本身，比如说因为这一次 COVID-19 被影响到的学生，那么学校会更加考虑这方面的内容，比如说学生如何被 COVID-19 影响了，那么关于学生本身的背景以及环境会被更加的强调。Next.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Julie. So there's a lot that's happened, and first we wanted to go over what we know regarding, let's say, testing, SAT, ACT. Basically, there's been a lot of cancellations. A lot of our students know this very intimately because they've had tests they were preparing for and they were canceled. March, April, May, June tests were all canceled. The next SAT for now is August 29. So how has College Board, the institution that operates SAT, what have they been doing to help students so that they can still do their SAT? They have added a September test. This is new. So besides August, there will be September test. There will be October, November, and December. This is domestic in the US. The international dates are all the same, except there's no November test. So the idea is they are trying to add more test dates to add more flexibility for students who have had to have their SAT canceled already. But the whole point of why it was canceled was because of COVID-19. So what if schools are still closed in the fall? This is a possibility. Or maybe students need to be spaced out for testing and still limited in terms of who has access to the test. They are looking at online options. This is highly controversial in terms of validity of score, in terms of how the colleges like them, but it does seem inevitable that they are considering this option. They've already discussed it publicly. So we're waiting to see what happens. Now, let's say that's SAT. Now, ACT is a very viable substitute. A lot of our students do ACT. June 13th, not canceled yet. It's very safe to say June could be canceled. Hard to imagine it will still go as planned. But what ACT has done, they've already been adding a later test in June 20th, July 25th, besides their existing July 18th test date, September, October, December test dates. And one slight difference of ACT compared to SAT is that they have embraced technology more in the past, and they have taken the lead in telling students they will do remotely proctored at-home computer testing sometime in the fall or early winter 2020. They have not rolled out that program yet, but the point is they're saying you'll definitely be able to take an ACT regardless of COVID-19. The only question mark, not the only, but a very important question mark is it's unclear if international students will have this option to take an online ACT. And this is a concern for a lot of students, for sure.
So yeah, okay, thank you, Jonathan. 所以就是目前我们所了解的信息关于 SAT 和 ACT 考试呢是这样子的，就是最近的一场 SAT 的考试是在8月29号，那么所有的3、4、5、6月份的所有 SAT 考试均被取消。那么呢，美国本地考场在9月26号会有一次加试，那么国际考生呢也在同一天会有一场加试。但是呢，需要注意的是，国际考生11月份是没有 SAT 考试的。那么关于 SAT 是否会采取线上考试这个形式，还是继续本人参加的那种 in person 的考试，目前 College Board 没有给出具体的消息。那么关于 ACT 呢 ？ACT 很神奇的是，6月13号的考试，它没有取消。它不光没有取消，它在6月20号和7月25号还追加了2场考试。而且呢，美国本地考生在2020年的秋季开始，他可以选择在家里机考。但是呢，这一点，国际考生也目前是不知道国际考生能不能参加机考的，也许会参加，也许不会参加。目前ACT 官方还没有给出一个具体的信息。OK，next one。
谢谢 Julie.
Yep.
Very good. So let's continue on this topic then. What do we know about testing? So in addition to SAT, ACT, major topic is your AP classes, your advanced placement courses. Now, because these are coming up soon, and perhaps because they are anyway, they have been more straightforward about what they're doing, more than SAT, ACT. Basically, they're going online. A lot of our students know this already, but some people out there are a little confused. And they're going to be short. They're going to be 45 minutes long. And how do you do it if it's online? How does that even make sense? There are going to be a lot of free responses that are going to be upload typed, or you can even handwrite them with photos. They want to make it accessible to everybody. They want to make it useful to everybody. It's kind of a mess, but they're making it work. So these will be based on the material in the class taught through March. So if your school was discontinued for any reason, or it switched to online, and you've had issues to keep up, you don't need to worry about that. It's only going to cover the material through March. So it's a short test. It's done at home, and it's going to cover only through that which was covered on March. There's going to be test dates in early May, mid-May, which is kind of typical, and there's going to be makeup dates in early June. It will be, since it's at home, they're not even trying to worry about cheating. It's open book, open note. So it'll all be about the responses you actually write, and therefore, the kind of qualitative analytical work you can do. Certain courses cannot be done on through an exam, or they've decided not to do through an exam. It's like AP Computer Science Principles, AP Seminar. They will have project submissions instead. So big changes for APs, and we'll get in later about how the schools are viewing these APs, but the point is they are still happening. And a lot of schools are still going to accept these APs for credit. Not all of them, but a lot of them that normally would still will. So despite being only half of the semester, the schools are generally taking a more generous approach to accepting these scores. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. 那么继续刚才这个话题，就是 AP 考试相对于 SAT 和 ACT 来说，它是一个改变比较多的一个考试。首先呢，第一点非常大的变化就是，它放到线上去了，变成线上提交。那么同时呢，它的时长也缩短了。平时大家都知道 AP 考试一场几个小时，但是它现在一下变成45分钟，时长45分钟，那么你可以使用5分钟去提交答案。那么考虑到大家的各种习惯的不同，那么你可以上传电子文档，或者甚至是手写，然后你拍照上传也是可以的。好，第二个呢是关于考试内容。那么 AP 课的内容就是，不管学校是否因为疫情暂停了你的 AP 课程，或者是你的 AP 课程变成了线上，或者是其他形式，那么它的考试内容呢，只考到3月份，就是说，从学期开始，这个学期开始1月份到3月份这么一个时间段，只考这一段时间，或者是包括之前的，反正就是考到3月份为止，后面4、5、6、7、8、9后面的就不会在这次 AP 考试中不会出现。那么呢，5月份11号到22号之间，或者是6月1号到5号之间，可能会有加试、追试，但是这个也只是可能，就是也是一个属于一个不确定的一个状态。那么还有一点就是大家之前比较担心的就是，如果在家里考试会不会有人作弊？那么现在已经很清楚了，就是这是一场开卷考试，就不管你是不是作弊，反正就开卷，你所有的 resources 所有的资源都可以用得上。还有呢就是 AP 计算机科学还有一个 AP 学术讨论课就不会有考试，因为这两门课呢，设定考试的话会比较麻烦，所以他们会以 project 或者说是课题项目的形式来进行考核，而不是会考试。那么学校呢，虽然说 AP 这一次等于说内容被砍掉了一半，但是呢，还是会有学校会接受这一次的 AP 考试成绩。那么对于已经考试或者是计划还是要考试的学生来说，这是一个很好的消息，就是学校还是会接受这一次的成绩，而不是说不接受，他们还是会接受。OK.
Okay, great. And so everybody, please feel free to ask questions along the way. There's a lot going on here. We saw someone with their hand up, Joshua. Please feel free to send that question in the chat. We're going to have a Q&A at the end, of course, but don't wait until the end. We want to hear your questions as they come. Okay, thank you, Julie.
Yep. Okay, next one.
Okay, so there have been many responses to COVID-19 by all schools. Some of them have gone test optional, which means students are not required to submit standardized test scores for SAT and ACT. And this is notable, especially at schools that would normally have required SAT and ACT scores. So if you look at the slide, we have some numbers for you. So SAT and ACT is not required and not considered at, as of now, 61 schools, but these are mainly smaller, non-competitive schools. The SAT and ACT is not required, but will be considered if submitted at 182 schools. So this is the rest, and it really is sort of, this is where many of the new test optional schools will fall under. But of course, some schools have capped the testing requirements, and these will be the more competitive schools, the Ivy Leagues, and the top, mostly the top 25s for sure. But this means that you are still required to submit SAT and ACT scores, but rest assured that the schools do mention and sort of urge you to recognize and remember that taking the exam more than once is not necessarily better. So if you have already taken it, you should submit that score. But yes, don't worry about taking multiple versions of the test if you can't get to it easily. Now, these schools, SAT still required at 58 schools. Again, these will be the more competitive ones, but not all of them. There are definitely a few in the top schools that have gone test optional. The UCs are definitely the standout example, and then we'll mention another one later.
Okay, thank you, Jessie. So, 所以就是学校的话，目前已经很多学校会采用自愿提交成绩这么一个政策吧。然后有61所学校呢，将不会向学生硬性要求 SAT 成绩，并且呢，在整个录取和申请过程中都不会对 SAT 成绩进行特别多的考量。那么，但是呢，这一部分学校主要是一些竞争压力比较小的那些小型的学校、小规模的学校。对于其他的学校，比如说还有其他182所大学呢，虽然不硬性要求你提交成绩，但是呢，如果你提交了的话，他们会将这一部分，将你的 SAT、ACT 成绩进行算作你的申请的一部分，然后进行考核。当然，本来也算在那个申请过程中。那么呢，对于前25的学校，包括以及常春藤，那么呢，这一部分学校仍然是要求 SAT 和 ACT 的。那么还比如说加州系统、加州大学系统还是要求的，还有 还有其他一所学校我们也会
UC test optional. UC test optional.
Yeah, okay. So UC 是变成了一个
对
自愿提交的一个过程，不好意思，刚才
没事。
这样。但是就是 UC 的话是变成了自愿提交。那么还有一个学校的例子，我们接下来会讨论会讲到。那么仍然还有58所大学要求你提供 SAT 成绩 ，ACT 成绩，剩下还有142所不确定。这个不确定就是不确定，对。Yep. Okay, next one.
Yeah, and there's one question from the audience from Ray. How long is the AP test? Tally? Totally, maybe? It is 45 minutes this year. Now, this is a huge difference from normal. Usually they're 3 hours or 2 to 3 hours, depending on the specific test. So this year it is 45 minutes specifically. Yeah. 就是今年的那个 AP 考试是多长时间？就是45分钟，但是一般来说就是留个3个小时，这个差别很大吧 ？OK， all right， 应该能。
Okay. Now this is an important point to make. The SAT subject test and the AP exam requirements vary pretty drastically from school to school. But the policies have been on sort of the grand scale generous, but you will want to check on a school by school basis because some of them will still accept scores, but only for specific reasons, and some of them have changed which scores they will accept. So maybe in past years they may have accepted 4 or 3 or 4s. This year they're only accepting 5s, or they may accept the exam for placement, but you'll still need to take an additional placement. And so you will want to check with each school that you're interested in applying to for their AP and subject test requirements. Now, part of the reason that they're doing this, of course, is because the test has changed. The exam itself has changed. And so each school has to respond to that in their own, in the best way they see fit.
Okay, thank you. 那么就是关于 AP 考试成绩可不可以兑换成学分这个问题，当然每一所学校的要求是不一样的。因为这一次疫情改变了很多考试方面的事情，所以有一些学校可能接受3分，可能接受4分，有一些学校只接受5分。所以如果你要在申请大学的时候，大学能否接受 AP 成绩也是学生们需要考虑的一个问题。不然的话，如果你参加了 AP 考试，但是呢某一些学校却不接受 AP 成绩的话，可能会听上去有一点浪费的，但是其实对，所以就是最好大家还是在申请某个学校之前，先把这个学校的一些要求，基本的要求要先弄清楚，不然的话也会因为之后可能会比较浪费你的精力和时间。Okay.
Sure. So we've given a lot of information about changes, but sometimes changes are more nuanced or detailed than can be captured in a simple slide. So one of the major universities to go test optional is Cornell University. But if we look at their words, this slide is their policy, their actual policy taken from their website. If we look at their words, they're not so happy to go test optional. Specifically, they say Cornell overall has not planned to adopt a test optional admissions policy permanently. And then they continue to say where the times in which the ACT or SAT might still be a meaningful differentiator. Yeah, so they really, if we go into the details, and you can read every word if you like, I think it's useful too. We think you definitely should. But regardless, when you look at their words, at these top schools, And we can say for Cornell specifically that although they will accept if you don't submit the score because perhaps you really had an issue, you really could not take it, right? Okay, then they are going to be reasonable. But basically they're saying as long as you could, then we prefer you do it. So, in the end, we just want to take the whole test optional thing with a grain of salt because when we look at what their schools are actually saying, they're not really so excited to go test optional here. And Jesse, I think you had something.
Yeah. For example, Stanford was very clear and pretty blunt, or to the point that they will still be requiring tests, the SAT and ACT, regardless of circumstance, at least for now. And this sort of points to the fact that the schools that have gone test optional are not necessarily doing so because that's sort of their wish. It's more of an accommodation rather than a suggestion. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you. So,那么就接下来我们会讲2个学校作为例子，就是第一个例子就是康奈尔，康奈尔是对藤校嘛，藤校康奈尔呢是这样子，他是说虽然他在这一个 PPT 里面，大家可能会看到，虽然他们的 test optional 自愿提交是更像是一种适应，或者说有一点像也不说是强迫吧，就是被迫做出的这个决定。所以他们在这个通知里面就说了，我们不会永久的采取自愿提交这么一个形式。所以在康奈尔看来呢 ，ACT 或者 SAT 分数仍然是他们区分学生或者录取的一个非常重要的一个指标，非常重要的一个标准。那么另外一所学校呢，斯坦福呢，只是非常明确的提出来，你还是要提交 SAT 或者 ACT 分数，不管现在是什么情况，不管情况如何，我的规定就是你一定要提交考试分数。Yeah. Okay, next one. Okay.
Okay. So this all comes down to if you can get a good score, then take the SAT and ACT and your APs. Again, remember, we just talked about this is more of an accommodation, not a suggestion. And taking the SAT and APs, especially if you can get a good score, will add to your application. It won't take anything away from it. So we do recommend that you take it if you can get a good score. And now one reason we say this is because current semester grades, whether pass or fail or letter grades, won't be taken seriously by many colleges because there's too much variation across the entire country or in even the globe. And so the grades won't necessarily speak much to your abilities or effort or intelligence as well as other semesters, if at all. So again, standardized test scores can offset that and show your abilities and intelligence in ways that your grades won't necessarily do this for the spring semester. Now, if you cannot get a score that matches your target score range, and you have a good excuse for not submitting. Again, so this is where you would want to be smart. If you don't think you're going to get a good score, then you don't have to submit. You don't have to take the test or submit your score. And this is where the test optional option benefits you because you wouldn't want to submit a bad score, especially if you don't have to submit it. If you cannot find if you not fit SAT subject tests in, schools are forgiving. Harvard being a very good example, but many other of the top schools are very clear in that you shouldn't spend extra time trying to fit in the subject test if you absolutely cannot. You won't be disadvantaged. They want you to focus on the other main aspects of the application, not the subject test. So again, don't be stressed out by the subject test. And this is a point that many schools have stressed officially.
OK, thank you, Jessie. 那么就是到了我们剩下的一个话题，就是该怎么做。那么就是要不要考试？我们觉得是说，如果你能非常有自信考到一个很好的分数的话，我们还是建议学生们去参加考试的。现在就是目前这个学期，Spring 春季2020这个学期，因为这个学期的成绩已经不太具有参考价值了，因为这么一个肺炎的这个情况，就基本上你也在学校也不上课，也不是就不去学校上课，就是大家的安排都已经被打乱了之后，就是这个学期的成绩不太有参考价值。或者说不会被特别的看重，对于大学来说的话，所以呢，如果你这个时候有一个比较好的、比较不错的一个考试的分数呢，可以让你在申请者里面突出一些，让你更加突出，这是一个锦上添花的这么一个作用，所以我们还是建议学生去参加SAT 或者 ACT 的考试。那么呢？如果万一你没有考好的话，你也可以有理由不用提交分数，因为反正是自愿提交嘛，就你可以不提交。那么还有一点就是关于 SAT 学科考试。那么学科考试呢，大家也不用特别的过于担心这个考试，因为比如说哈佛大学就提出来说，其实学科考试不是一种硬性的要求。它只是说作为一种辅助性的材料，大学在看，所以就大家也不需要过度的担心这个考试，因为它不是一种硬性的要求。OK, next one.
Okay. Yeah, Jesse.
Okay. Have different parts of the application become more important than in previous years? Yes and no. Because at least one semester of grades and opportunities for testing will be affected by COVID, other semesters will become more important. Perhaps most important, the essay will take on a greater importance than it already had. So because of sort of things that have gone in flux, like your semester grades and the changes in certain test policies, there will be a greater focus on sort of the essay for sure and other semesters. But also, there will be sort of, perhaps more so than in the past, more emphasis on this, the idea of holistic admissions, or as many of them say, a whole person review. And the reason we say this is because many schools have started their sort of addresses to students and parents regarding COVID-19 with this emphasis on the holistic admissions process and the whole person review, meaning that the application as a whole will be looked at will take on greater importance than in past years, because there's less of the emphasis on grades or testing. So keep that in mind. It is a good thing that holistic and whole person review is being favored more this semester, or more this application season. It means you get to shine in other areas. Now, have my chances of getting accepted changed? You may be asking yourself this. We won't really know until the application season gets closer. Again, there still is the possibility of many things changing. But because of sort of things going in flux, your chances will most certainly not be worse. If anything, they will be better. But they certainly won't be worse. If anything, for those with less financial need, your chances may be higher as more colleges must combine student admission with business decisions. Basically, if you can afford to pay tuition outright, your chances will be better because schools will need the influx of cash.
Good point. Oh, thank you, Jesse. OK，现在我们讨论就是有一些非常大家常见的问题，就比如说第一个问题说，和前一年相比，申请的不同部分的占比或者比重是不是会不一样？那么呢，我们觉得会，但是呢也不会。就是说，虽然说这一个学期这个春季学期的成绩会被影响，或者说大学这个占比不是很会变低，但是呢，你的其他学期的表现可能就会显得非常重要了，因为这个学期的成绩被压下去了之后，其他学期的表现就会显得你表现的好还是不好就会比较突出。那么同时呢，学校呢也会也会更加的看重你整个人，考量你整个人在申请当中，他们叫 holistically， 英语来说是 holistically， 所以这种整体性的考量会继续存在，而且学校会更加采取整体性的考量，而不是说偏向某一个部分。比如说我只要学习好的，或者我只要什么什么样的，不会，他们会更加考虑到整个学生整体这个人是怎么样的，来考虑是否录取他。那么还就是第二个问题就是说，我被录取的概率会不会改变？被录取的几率会不会改变？其实这个问题的话，目前来讲我们还不是很清楚，因为这个录取不录取的话，还是要等到申请季快结束的时候，那个 offer 开始收 offer 的时候，可能会比较能看得出来一些变化。但是说，假如说，就是唯一可能会被影响到的，就是说，如果你是需要申请奖学金的话，可能会有一些影响。那如果你不需要奖学金，也许你的录取几率会会高一些，因为学校有些时候也是就需要这个资金支持嘛，所以他们会说，如果这个学生不需要我的奖学金的话，我可能会偏向于考虑这一些学生，但是也只是可能，这个不是一定，就是可能会偏向考虑。OK, next one.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, more common questions. Basically, will the standardized tests be harder this year? This is a question we get because people believe there'll be fewer people taking them perhaps, and that those people might be more prepared. This is a good question, but they are scaled tests. So it's very unlikely that you're going to really run into this huge event of only the qualified test takers taking it. In the end, they are scaled. So the percentage of people getting the high marks will be the same as normal, just be lower numbers perhaps. But we don't see this to be a major factor. Will the APs go down a little bit? It's possible because they're so strange and it's all free response, which is a lot easier to deduct credit from. But at the same time, the colleges have been pretty clear that they understand these APs are going to be weird. They're just going to be strange. So if you're not getting the typical score you usually get in an AP exam, they're likely not going to hold it against you too much. Try to get the best score possible. But they know that things are very different this year than normal. Okay, Jesse.
Yeah, so if you've done any sort of looking into admissions events. Basically, all schools have canceled in-person events through the summer. And that's pretty much across the board, regardless of school or event. But you can still demonstrate your interest in the schools you're interested in, because many, almost all of the universities, colleges and universities have introduced virtual information sessions or virtual events where you can see the school, see the campus, connect with other members of the community. So we would recommend taking advantage of those. You can, of course, still contact professors as you would normally through email. Demonstrate your interest in working with them, ask them questions, and you can, of course, and should still email the admissions office. All of their work is being done on email right now, and by phone at some universities, but email is your best bet. So take advantage of that. Remember, though, that many schools will be working on a limited staff, so they may not get back to you as quickly, but you should still email them with any questions you have. Should you be concerned about anything else? Financial aid packages may change, so you will want to maybe think more about cost than you would in past years, but this is not likely to change too much, especially at larger institutions, which will still be able to offer financial aid packages similar to what they normally would.
Okay, thank you. 下一个问题就是考试会不会变难？我们认为是不会的，因为 SAT 和 ACT 它的虽然说可能今年考试的人数会减少，但是呢，它这个比如说高分学生的这个比例，就比如说前5%这样子，它这样子的一个比例它是不会有变化的。比如说5%，它的高分段占比是不会变的，所以基本上肯定是说 SAT 和 ACT 考试可能不会变难。那么 AP 呢？AP 是一个非常神奇的例子，因为它可能会变难。首先它放在了一个全新的一个系统，就是线上，因为大家从来没有考过线上的 AP 考试，所以呢，这种全新的系统对于所有人来说都是一种新的挑战，而且又是开卷考试，就是说你可能拿高分的机会甚至会比平常会多很多，因为都是开卷。当然题目也有可能会变难，因为开卷考了之后，大家就有各种各样的资源可以去查，可以去得出答案。那么学校呢也会知道，就是说学校非常清楚，就是今年的 AP 考试肯定会是一个非常奇怪的一个状态，所以他们会不会像以前一样把对于 AP 的重视，像以前一样那么重视 AP 呢？那么也是不太好说的。OK， 那么下一个问题就是说，因为现在所有的学校都已经取消了那种学校参观的这么一个项目，那么对于学生来说呢，如果取消了这种 campus visit 的话，也可以参加他们肯定会有一些线上的宣传会，可以参加线上的宣讲，或者是邮件联系教授，或者是邮件联系招生办公室都是可以的。当然有一些学校你可以打电话，但是呢，只是有一些学校而已，更多的学校还是就是说保持邮件联系这样。但是呢，还有一点要注意的就是说，因为现在是一个非常特殊的事情，那么他们所有的事情、所有的沟通都是通过邮件来进行的，所以在沟通的时候，可能就是你得到回复的时长可能会比你预计的要长很多。那么最后一个比较常见的问题就是说，还有什么其他需要担心的问题？如果你需要申请奖学金的话，你可能要考虑就是你的学费开销以及能否申请得到奖学金。Okay, yeah, that's it. Next one.
Okay. What about activities? Yes, of course, extracurriculars and summer programs are, like everything else, canceled or postponed or up in the air. But there are still things you can do. Some options we have listed here. Research projects are great. Preferably, you're doing a research project under the guidance of somebody who can help you produce a quality research project that will result in a finished product, not just doing research on your own on Google. Another option is an online internship or online courses where you can learn a new skill or improve an old one. For example, programming is a great option, especially for anyone interested in computer science. There are many free courses or cheap courses, and I imagine that there will be many more available this summer. A BEEC sponsored program, we have professor research programs and other internships available. And these would probably be the closest thing that you could find that would replicate something you could do under normal circumstances. So if you are interested in these, we do recommend you getting in contact with us. They will add rigor and demonstrate interest in your application. And of course, test prep is always an option, especially given that you may take different versions of tests or may think about taking a test you wouldn't normally, or just prepare for the SAT like you normally would. Test prep is always a good option, especially for freshmen and sophomores who maybe would put this off for another year or so. Will these activities demonstrate your skills, intelligence, or experience? Of course, this will come down to how the program is structured. This is why I said if you're doing a research project, it's better to do it under guidance of someone who can help you develop a program or a project that will demonstrate your skills. But yes, these may be different types of programs and options, but they will still be able to demonstrate your skills and intelligence as a high school student. And then, of course, being productive with your time will also help you working through the summer, especially if you're stuck at home, and getting through these activities and possibly doing more activities than you normally would. Making a schedule, organizing your workspace, establishing a routine. Getting a mentor is always a good option. We have many mentors. I'm one of them. Jonathan's one of them. And we can definitely help you, again, guide you through decisions and answer questions and help you develop projects, especially for the summer. And last but certainly not least, you probably will have extra time just because all of your time may be spent at home. So use that time to read and write. It will bleed into other activities and it will make you a better student in the long run.
Thank you, Jesse. I was going to hop in just because there was a question. It was a very good question that was sent to us. Said, any online internship recommendations? I couldn't find any. It's a great question, and the answer is there are very few online internships. Now, one of the great things about working with us is that we were able to have a good network of partner companies, partner professionals, partner professors that like to work with our students. And the moment all of these things canceled in person, we went to the same partners and said, hey, is online possible? And most of them said yes. They said, well, it's different, but we understand why. And their desire to help students is the same. So in that respect, we're very happy, we're very proud to still be able to help students get really good opportunities that can be offered online through our online network of partners. Yeah. Okay, Julie.
Yep, thank you. 那么很多学生会问说，那我这一个暑假怎么办？课外活动呢？如果所有的，因为现在大家都是在家里嘛，就没有办法出去参加活动，那应该怎么办呢？就是说，我们会有以下几点建议，就是一，就是你可以参加一些研究性的项目；第二，你可以有一些线上的在线实习；第三，就是说在线课程，也就是我们说的网课，你可以学一些新的知识，比如说我们有学生在学 Java 或者说是编程 Python 这一些的东西，这是一个非常好的机会，就是提升自己的一个机会。那么呢，当然我们还会推荐你们来参加我们 BEEC 的项目。还有就是说，对于9年级或者10年级的学生来讲呢，这个时间也可以用来准备 SAT、准备 ACT、准备考试。那么这也是一个非常好的时间去做这些事情。那么也许你们会有人问说，那么因为都是线上的嘛，那线上这些活动可以体现出来我的能力吗？我们的答案是可。如果你参加了一个非常好的项目，那么答案是肯定的，就一定是能体现出来你的能力的。就是说，当然呢，比如说你如果要参加研究性的项目，或者说参加一些实习，需要一些有经验的职业方向、职业人士来带领你去参加这些活动。那么还有一点就是说，因为在家里了嘛，你的时间安排应该怎么样安排？如何高效的安排我的时间？那么呢，我们觉得说，对于学生来讲，应该建立一个日常的这么一个例行的一个计划。就比如说，像现在大家喜欢看手机、开微信，微信其实已经是我们的日常活动的一部分了，日常生活的一部分。如果能把学习或者说是上课这样子变成像你看微信一样，变成我们的日常生活的一部分，那你从中能获得的这个收获就会非常大。那么同时呢，还有一点就是说，你需要一位非常好的导师，比如说现在旁边这2位 Jonathan 和 Jessie 都是非常好的导师。然后 BEC 呢，然后我们也有很多其他经验丰富的导师，可以帮助学生，帮他们做规划，然后帮他们可以回答他们的疑问，回答他们的问题，解疑答惑。那么呢，就是说刚才有一位听众朋友问说，就是在哪里可以找得到这些线上实习？那么当然呢，就是说，因为 BEC 我们的话是跟一些职业人士也好，公司也好，我们是有单独的私人的关系，然后有一些比较强有力的一些关系在这里的，所以大部分情况，当我们问他们说能不能做线上实习的时候，或者说线上研究的时候，他们基本上都会说可以。所以就是说，我们这里也是一个非常好的选择，对于学生和家长来讲。就那么呢，最后一点就是，既然在家里了，那就可以多读一点书，多写一点文章。那么这样子也是正好，这是一个提升自己、充实自己的机会，所以这也是一个很好的建议，我觉得大家可以参考一下。
Thank you, Julie. I just want to get to another question quickly. It's a very good question, so I think it's really important. Alex, thank you for the question. It says some summer camps changed to online, such as SSP. It's one of the best summer science program. Great program. Are they still worth it to attend? And the answer is going to definitely depend on how it changed to online, and is it relevant to your child's or your college plan? As in, we've had students who, let's say they were going to do Hopkins Innovation Engineering, and that's a great program, and suddenly that went online. But the problem is it went online and they only offered the biomedical engineering class, the BME class. But that student has no interest in BME. Doesn't make any sense. So suddenly for them, it's forget it. But if it's going to go online and it's going to retain a class in the field of your interest that you really want to study, then it could be a very good option. It's as good as any other summer online class option. So that's when we get really into the particulars of your child's future and vision, and then does this change to online match up with that vision? And if it does, it could be a very good option. We wouldn't say forget it, but we just can't say for sure, one way or the other. Yeah, thank you. Great question.
Yeah, OK，做一个非常快的翻译，就是刚才有一位朋友问说，很多暑期项目都已经改成线上了，那么还有没有参加的必要？那么当然，其实这个问题的答案是说，就是看这个项目具体它是怎么改的。那么比如说刚才 Jonathan 举了一个例子，就是说 John Hopkins 约翰霍普金斯大学它有一个工程学院有一个暑期活动暑期课程，但是呢，当它今年它已经它取消了，然后变成线上了，但是它线上呢，它只提供生物工程这一门网课。那么但是呢，如果你对生物工程，因为工程这里包含了很多学科，很多什么 bioengineering、biomedical engineering、civil engineering， 它有很多 electronic engineering， 它有很多的项目。但当你对你对生物工程不感兴趣的时候，我还有没有必要继续参加这个暑期课程呢？那所以其实基本上都是根据就是说这个暑期课程和你未来的规划和你大学要读的专业以及你之后你要做什么工作，或者说甚至是工作和你的大学计划是否相关，那要根据这个相关度然后去决定你要不要上这节课。Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Next one.
Okay. How will admissions look in the future? It's hard to say, but look out for long-term changes in testing policy and the application process as a whole. Again, we won't know until the next application seasons unfold, and part of that will depend on how long the COVID-19 crisis lasts, and that's unknown right now. So whether or not admissions will take on long-term changes is to be seen. But it's possible that things will change. We just won't know for sure. Are the changes here to stay? Well, many schools are going to take this time to test certain changes to policy that either other schools have already instituted or that they were already considering but were putting off. But because the situation has changed so rapidly, this will be probably an experimental season for many schools. And many of them have said this explicitly, especially with regards to testing and testing optional policies. How long will COVID-19 affect admissions? Again, we don't know. This will depend on how long COVID-19, the crisis lasts, but it's pretty much safe to say that juniors will be most affected by this, meaning students who will apply in the fall, and less impact will, the sophomores and freshmen will be less impacted by this, by these changes, unless of course the crisis continues longer than we expect. But for now, we can say that juniors will be most affected, and that's the group that should really be considering and thinking about the changes. And last but not least, more schools could go test optional. More schools have gone test optional, but whether they will remain test optional is the larger question. But again, this is what this admission season will offer them. It will offer them insight into what tests, what information tests provide, and is that information actually useful?
So, okay, thank you, Jessie. 那么现在呢，我们可以对未来做一下预测。 比如说未来的申请会变成什么样子。虽然说目前没有一个具体的定论，但是就是考试政策的变化也是和申请是密不可分的。就是如果考试政策变化的话，那么申请政策一定也会随之进行相应的变化。所以这两个考试和申请这两者是一定是联系在一起的。那么第二点就是说，这些改变，比如说今年的政策变化会一直存在吗？其实答案是不一定。那么很多学校就是把这一段时间当做是一种推行新政策的一种测试。那么这个测试呢，要等到明年才能看得出来会有什么样的影响。那么关于这一场肺炎会对学校的这个录取会影响多久呢？目前来说目前11年级的学生影响应该是最大的，其次是10年级，再其次是9年级。大家可能会想说，为什么12年级不会被影响？就是其实是12年级已经申请完了，他们只是在等结果。对，那么其他的预测呢，就是说，虽然说可能会有更多的学校会推行这种自愿提交考试成绩这么一个政策，但是呢，这个不代表你不需要考试，还是要考 SAT， 还是要考。对 ，OK， next， OK， cool。question side， 如果大家有任何问题的话，这是一个 Q&A 环节，那么大家就可以在那个留言板上面向我们提问。如果这次来不及提问的话，你们也可以就是加我们的就是有一个微信公司的微信号，就是 BEEC，向我们提问，然后我们会非常乐意，然后也会尽我们最大的可能性去跟你解答你的疑问。
Anybody, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. You know, you can raise your hand however you want to handle it, but we'd be happy to address any questions.
Yes， 对，就反正任何形式向我们提问都是可以的，就只要问就可以了。Yeah.
Sure. And we can go down this anyway. And then, anyways, people maybe are thinking of their questions. Maybe they're thinking, please write it in the chat whenever you want. But we always say anyway, not to say the same thing every time, but if you don't believe us, please read what our students have to say about us, and are very proud of their feedback. We still have 5 stars on Yelp, so people seem to be happy so far. We're very proud of that. And we hope to be able to be talking to more of you, whether it's tonight through your questions, or offline, or rather online, but not on this meeting, through the next following contact information. Next slide. Yeah. So here we have our WeChat official account. We have a QR code to how to set up a free consultation with us. We thank everybody for listening, taking time out of your day, evening, morning to listen to us. And any questions, maybe we'll keep it open for give everyone a little bit of time.
Yep. 对，所以大家这是我们的方式，所以如果你有任何问题的话，可以或者需要免费咨询，然后可以加我们的好友，可以跟我们联系，邮箱也可以，微信也可以，都行。Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, well, yeah, thank you, Julie, thank you, Jesse, and thank you to our great audience.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, we have a Q&A. We have a thanks. Okay, yes, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, fantastic. Okay, everybody have a great night, great rest of the day.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.